I'm focusing today on the Gospel for Saturday of the 10th week of Ordinary Time. It's a brief passage taken from the Sermon on the Mount, and Jesus' teaching is about taking oaths. Jesus says, "You have heard it said, 'Do not take a false oath.' But I say to you, do not swear or take an oath at all." That would make it seem as though we're directly violating Jesus' command every time we testify in court or sign a legal document under oath. And in a strict sense, we are. But the point of his teaching is not really about oaths, but about our reasons for thinking that they should be necessary. If an oath is supposed to guarantee or bind us to speak the truth about something, then what does that say about when we're not speaking under oath? Does that mean it's okay to lie at other times? Jesus' point is not about the oath itself, but about how we think of truth and whether or not we hold ourselves to speaking truthfully at all times, not just under particular circumstances. Let your yes mean yes and your no mean no, he says. Anything more is from the evil one. We have entered a period in our society when truth itself seems under attack. Fake news abounds on the internet, and despite obvious falsehoods spoken by civic leaders, many people seem to shrug them off as though spreading false information is no big deal, as long as it leads to our own desired goals. I fear that the truth that is in most danger, however, is the truth that we most fear. It's the truth that we just don't want to hear because it implicates us. It's the truth about ourselves, about our own limitations, about our own sinfulness, about our own ignorance or mistaken beliefs. The huge movement across the country, across the world in the past couple weeks following the death of George Floyd seems to have prompted a great increase in awareness of, or maybe simply a long overdue willingness on the part of many to admit our own implicit participation in institutionalized racism, as well as our own personal racism and privilege. I see in this response a local victory for truth, a surge in people's willingness to admit to the truth of the problem of racism itself, to the truth of the experience of the lives of others, and to the truth of our own role in perpetuating injustice. In John's Gospel, Jesus said, "You shall know the truth, and the truth will set you free." But it should not take an oath for us to admit what is true, and it should not take the death of George Floyd for us to admit what is true. As followers of Jesus, always searching for the truth of our world, for the truth of our lives, and for the truth of ourselves, that genuine search for truth should simply identify us as Christians.